hold on. Sorry, I just got done with my workout. Just ran a 5K. Whew. Okay, all right, let me catch my breath here. Woo! Okay. All right, I'm good now. Thank you. Whew. 5K. What's he talking about? Ran a 5K. Well, we're going to talk about what that means momentarily, all right? But for starters, let's talk about yesterday's exit ticket. All right, so yesterday's exit ticket, a toy doll was sent to Lucy in a box 8 inches long, 5 inches wide, and 15 inches high. What is the volume of the box? So I'm going to make a box, or do my best at making a box, because I am not a drawer, so that was my daughter. Okay, so there's my looking box. All right, so bear with me. It's 15 inches high. All right, and it is 8 inches long. And it is 5 inches wide. So, as we talked about, when it comes to finding volume, it's length times width times height. So I'm going to do 8. I'm going to do 8 times 5 first. Okay. Length times the width. And that'll give me 40. And then I'll take and do 40, which is technically the area, times that by the height. Okay. So take 40 times the height. Or we'll do it the opposite, make it a little easier for ourselves. All right, so we're going to do 15 times the 40. So bring down your 0, your 1's place value there. 4 times 5 will give you 20. 4 times 1 equals 4 plus 2 equals 6. So therefore, you get the answer of 600 cubic feet. Here we go with what I was talking about when I was talking about a 5K. Technically, a 5K is 5 kilometers. So when somebody says they're going out and doing a 5-kilometer race or a 5K race or a walk for charity maybe, they're talking about a 5 kilometers. Okay? Well, kilometers is metric length. Like we were just spending 4 days on what was called U.S. customary. All right, we spend 1 day on length, U.S. customary length. Yards, feet, inches are all U.S. customary. Well, here we are with metric length. Meters, centimeters, millimeters, and kilometers, km, kilometers. Okay. 5K is where the K is from kilometer. Okay, 5 kilometers. Kilometer or kilometer. So I've created here this chart that I want you to make sure you copy it down. Now you can do it like we have here in black, or you can make a table. I'm a bigger fan of tables. I love tables. And that's what I'm going to focus on using today. So 1 meter makes 100 centimeters. And that same 1 meter and that same 100 centimeters will make 1,000 millimeters. All right, 1,000 millimeters. Now, that's what I have down on my chart here. 1 meter makes the same equivalence as 100 centimeters, which is the same equivalence as 1,000 millimeters. Now, if we even start with a larger measurement, like kilometers, if you're interested in knowing how far a kilometer is, we're talking a little more than a half a mile is a kilometer. Okay? A little more than a half a mile. And then a meter is as tall as like a doorknob from the floor. All right? Well, it takes 1,000 meters to get to 1 kilometer. And 100,000 centimeters to get to 1 kilometer. And then 1 million, okay, a million. The 1 million tips of your pencils make 1 kilometer. So utilize this chart as we work through today's problems. Problem number 1 I will do for you and demonstrate how I'm going to use this chart to help us. So if you did not copy down that chart yet, I would highly recommend you do so. And those formulas. All right, we know the problem here says 5 meters equals how many centimeters? Okay, so if I have 1 meter, how many centimeters is that going to be? Oh boy. Well, it says over there 1 meter is 100 centimeters. But the problem isn't talking about 1 meter, it's talking about 5 of them. So how many centimeters will that be? I'm going to take 5 meters, times it by 100 centimeters per meter to give me 500 centimeters. Ta-da! So I used the box here, this chart here, to help me make sense. Well, if 1 meter is 100 centimeters, 5 meters is 500 centimeters. Okay? And I've created the expression that goes with it. 5 meters times 100 centimeters per meter will give you 500 centimeters. All right, let's see if you can do the next one on your own. So we have 20 millimeters equals how many centimeters? So we first need to look back and say, all right, well, hold on. How many millimeters make 1 centimeter? So 1 centimeter, you get 10 millimeters. Go ahead and see if you can figure out how many centimeters gives you 20 millimeters. Okay, so we hopefully should have recognized that the next set, another 10 would be 20, which is 2 centimeters. What kind of expression helps you solve that? 20 centimeters divided by 10 millimeters per centimeter gives you your 2 centimeters. Now, why do we use multiplication here, but we use division here? We use multiplication because we were going from a larger amount down to a smaller unit. Here, we were using a smaller unit, and we were trying to go up to a larger unit. We were trying to go from a tip of a pencil, which is a millimeter, up to a centimeter, which is a pinky. Your width of your pinky would be a centimeter. So that number is going to get smaller. All right, so now let's go ahead and have you do the next one. 2 kilometers equals how many centimeters? Use that chart to help you. So 2 kilometers, all right, not even half of a 5K, all right, or 5 kilometers. How many centimeters will that be? I'm going to zoom you in a little bit here, get a little bit closer. 1 kilometer, we know, according to that chart we made, okay, that I hope you copied down, makes 1,000 meters, which makes 100,000 centimeters. So if I have 2 kilometers, it's going to give me 2,000 meters, which gives me 200,000 centimeters as my answer, 200,000. Well, what expression do I use there? 2 kilometers times 100,000 centimeters per kilometer gives me my 200,000 centimeters. All right, number 4. All right, so let's just pretend I went out for a 7 kilometers, more than a 5K, okay? And a 5K is actually a little more than 3 miles. So when people say they went and did a charity 5K or charity run that was 5 kilometers, it was a little more than 3 miles. So here we are with 7 kilometers. How many meters is that going to be? Use your chart to help figure this out. Do that now. All right, so here we are. We have 1 kilometer makes 1,000 meters. 7 kilometers is going to make you 7,000 meters. So 7 kilometers times 1,000 meters per kilometer gives you that 7,000. Same kind of process, but we're working in the opposite direction. So think about that. What operation would I use if I'm working in the opposite direction? Meters to kilometers. Go ahead and do that now. Okay, so we should know, according to our chart, 1,000 meters is 1 kilometer. We saw that in the last problem. So 3,000 meters is going to equal how many kilometers? 3,000 divided by 1,000, okay, would make 3. There's your answer. This is almost 2 miles. Almost. And another time where you might see 3,000 meters or even 1,000 or 7,000 meters is on a track. A track is 400 meters one time around, which is about a quarter of a mile. So 4 times around is about a mile. It's like 9 meters short of a mile, 4 times around. Okay? Let's move on to our last and final problem before exit ticket time. So we have here 200 centimeters. How many meters will that equal? Go ahead, use your chart and figure this one out. I did a little switcheroonie. I switched my unit, so it was meters on this side, centimeters on that side. I always like my larger amount starting on my left side and working my way over. Just something about that. Okay? So larger amount means larger unit. Not necessarily the amount, the number, but the unit itself is larger. Meters is larger than centimeters. So 1 meter is going to equal 100 centimeters. 200 centimeters is going to equal 2 meters. The expression I would use is 200 centimeters divided by 100 centimeters per meter equals 2 meters. All right, so that's our dose of the length of metric units. So go ahead. If you're still not feeling confident, maybe have somebody at home practice some of these, make up some on your own. You know, make up a chart, throw the number 2 in there, the number 7 in there, and see if you can figure out how many meters that is. And then when you're ready, go ahead and do the exit ticket. Thanks a lot for participating today. We'll see you tomorrow.